What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zoo in November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. That means it's time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. Got a great show tonight. At least I hope so, anyway. I got 99 problems, and this show ain't one, you know. Uh, what's going on, Hayden? I'm going to do a shout out to Patreon real quick in a second, but I'm going to say what's up to Hayden really quick. What's up, Adrian?
How's everybody doing? Not too much. We're doing good over here.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. All right. Before I do this Patreon video, I just want to say that I said I got 99 problems in this stream ain't one, but having enough time in life is because I'll tell you what, I got a slight problem, and it's not even a problem. It's actually a blessing. I got such a wonderful, wonderful group of people that support me, and with work today and then straight to POTA and straight here trying to get things done. And then like 2 seconds before the stream, I'm looking at my emails and I noticed that 2 of my Patreons has upgraded their tiers. So they're not going to be correct in the tiers, but just before I play this, Whiskey One, Robbie Camp POTA is a member of the King's Court, and David Davenport is a member of the POTA Activators now. So other than that, let's give a shout out to all the Patreons. We will get those names corrected in the right tiers for the next stream for sure. These guys are awesome. They keep me going. They keep me with gas. They keep me with food. They're really going to keep me going in February when I'm not even working at all. I'm just out there doing POTA contact after POTA contact and making the whole world happy. But those guys are awesome. Robbie, I will get up with you and get your room because everybody knows that the King's Court gets their own room in Discord. So we will definitely get that done. And Robbie, you joined at a really, really good time because it's not even on the Patreon, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm adding a new benefit to the King's Court, and that's going to be you guys are going to be product testers when I need certain things tested for my merchandising and stuff. And Kilo 8 Golf Quebec had asked me about some coasters, and I don't know if you guys can see these, but I did get some coasters in today. I'm not sure how good the lighting is there, if you can see them or not, but I'm going to send one of these out to each of the King's Court and let them guys see what they think about it, and we'll definitely see if those might be up in the daggone store of mine. Speaking of the store, check out this bad boy. That thing is awesome. With the brand new cliffhanger shirt. It is available right now on the store. And if you go there before the end of the stream, the McActivator shirt has not miraculously disappeared, but it should have. But it will disappear sometime tonight, so you better order it if you want the McActivator shirt. All right. Other than that, we got other people to thank. First off, thank Bruce, India Charlie Papa, for the all-string donation. And with that, we'll go ahead and show the Adventure Club for the first quarter, and it's a big mess of a tie. You got Bruce leading the adventures around. Second through fifth will be actually second through sixth, because Robbie joined, will be the King's Court. And 7th through 10th will be the top activators all tied up. And then we're going to talk about the end of the fourth quarter because we never announced that. And looks like Dan ends up in the top spot, Randall second place, Bruce third, James fourth, and so on. But the big news there is Dan and Randall move on to. There will be a drawing for the fourth quarter. And I've already started working on prizes. I'm not sure when the drawing will be, but it's normally a couple weeks after the quarter ends. But Dan and Randall joins Hayden and Evan, who won the first quarter, Kurt and Bruce, who won the second quarter, Bruce again, so his name will be in there twice, and James Jenner, who won the third quarter, and Dan and Randall, who won the fourth quarter, will be in the grand prize drawing for the year. And it's going to be a cool prize. I've got a couple ideas for that one. So all that coming up. enough about all that stuff. Hayden, you did some POTA, man.
I did.
That is awesome.
We first day we went out Sunday. We did 68 contacts, and Monday we went out and did 50 contacts. My first contact, I hunted him down. I heard him on the radio. It was Oscar in Jamaica. It's my first contact with Jamaica. I've been trying to get somebody in Jamaica. I didn't think there were any ham radio operators in Jamaica, but I hunted him down on 50 meters, and it was great. 50 meters Monday was awesome. I made contact to California, and it sounded like he was sitting right in the truck with me. It was amazing. It's a good time.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Always good to make them crazy calls. And you know, you
Mhm.
can always call me and like, hey, man. Even though James Mon is not Jamaican. Oh, look there, Richard McCracken upgraded to the King's Court. Welcome to the King's Court. He wanted one of those coasters so bad to set his drink on. He's like, oh no, these boys ain't getting a coaster without me. Thank you very much, Richard. We'll get you upgraded on the video as well. Awesome stuff. But yeah, it's the first of the year, and here that's what I want to talk about right now. We're 4 days into the year. Actually, we're ham radio people, so we're 5 days now. But you know, everybody, or at least a lot of people, made goals. But I want to know, you know, in the chat, how many of you guys are actually working on those goals you made, and how many of you have actually dropped off? Because you know, I know a couple guys I've noticed has been really active here this first week. Dan's been out a lot. I've noticed him in the parks quite a bit. I can tell you that I've been a man on a mission. You know, I said, you know, the 50,000 QSOs, that's not a big deal for me. I'll wear that out. We all know that. But the 5,000 CW goals, considering I'm not a CW operator, nor am I even remotely good at CW, it's work for me. And I tell you, but I have done. You know, if you take 5,000 CW contacts and you divide that by 365 days in the year, that is 14 CW POTA contacts that I have to make every single day. And that don't sound like a lot. But when you don't even hardly know CW and you're struggling, 14 contacts can be a little rough. So so far I've made it every day. And you know, if I do, I take it back. I take that back. One day I got 12, but the next day I got 18 to make up for it. So I think the first day I got like 30 some, but we're not counting that. As long as my feeling about it is, if I miss my 14 today by 4, I only got 10, which I didn't. I got 15 today.
Mhm.
But let's say I only got 10. That means tomorrow I got to get 19. You know, that's just a have to thing. So that you know, as long as you're working towards your goals, you'll make them. Not a problem. But I'll tell you, I've been busy. I can tell you one thing. I know somebody that's going roving tomorrow.
Oh yeah, who's that?
This guy right here. I'm going
There you
roving
go.
tomorrow, and because today was my Friday at work, I was supposed to take somebody to the doctor tomorrow because they were having something done and they couldn't drive, but it got canceled. So that's automatic POTA Rove day, right?
There you go.
I'll bet y'all kill the 14 contacts tomorrow on CW. What are you gonna bet?
Well, I might have to try at least one rove this summer, because my goal was to double my activations. I did what, 31, so I got to do 62 this year. And there's 50. I'm usually a weekend warrior, so there's 52 weeks in the year, so that means I have to double up on a couple of them.
There you go. There you go. Let's see here.
Yep. See that?
What is Kyle talking about? You're like a hiker on the AT.
Appalachian Trail.
I know what the Appalachian Trail, but
Oh, okay.
with what? Well, he just says with. Well, what am I like a hiker like, Kyle?
Kyle, you're going to have to explain that a little bit. Oh, look at Bruce's goal.
Let's see what. One activation. That'll be awesome. So thank you very much, James Jenner, for the slices of pizza. All slices of pizza tonight will be going straight to the Amtrak train. I do have to pay for my train ticket by the 9th. So all donations tonight will be going straight to the Amtrak. So I appreciate it very much. Yeah, explain yourself, son. Explain yourself. Kyle, you're actually welcome to come on the stream. Hayden, you can send Kyle the link
I will make that happen.
to the stream, and Kyle can come on and explain himself. He said he's on the Ape says he said on the AT with a hiker like James. You know, being on the AT with a hiker like me would get you through the AT. I can tell you, I can tell you that much. I'm motivated when I get goals, y'all, and that's the problem with. I'm actually too motivated. I set these goals and I set them realistic, even though a lot of y'all think they're not realistic. A lot of people like 50,000 POTA contacts. That's ridiculous. It's about 140 some a day. That's a cakewalk. You know, as long as you activate every day, you know, heavy is the crown, you know. I hear a lot of people say, I'm gonna take the crown from you. Thank you very much, Stephen, for the super chat. That is that is very, very awesome, and that helps a lot for a train trip right there. I appreciate it, Stephen. Oh, but they say they're coming for the crown. Well, I'll tell you, come get it, bud. The crown's heavy. You know, you want to go out there every day and activate and bust your tail. Hey, jump at it, man. Because I'll tell you, it ain't easy. It ain't easy being cheesy. Oh.
I'm actually looking forward to the end of year POTA update.
You know, speaking of the end of year POTA update, that's another thing I got to do is my December POTA update. I'm more looking forward to my January update because I've totally changed the format for January, and it is going to be amazing. At least I think it is. King of POTA equals master of pileups. I've been told I'm pretty good at a pileup. So they tell me. Curtis is in the chat. What's going on, Curtis? Yeah, but I will tell you, you want to break my pile up? Tell you the easiest way to break my pile up. Get a youth to get on the radio and use your call, because I'll stop a pile up in a heartbeat for a youth. Just worked a youth the other day, and he's got a card already made up, and I actually picked up my book of stamps for this week this morning. So that one will be going out. You know, he automatically moved to the top of the line. Sorry, guys. Youth come first. Oh, wow, Dan. Thank you very much. You were awesome. You were awesome. Wheel bearings are us. Look at this. Listen, I actually called Dan this morning on my way to work after my activation. He said, "Dude, I don't hear no roaring or whining. That wheel bearing sounding pretty good." Yeah, the wheel bearing kind of hit hard with the train ticket money, but I appreciate that, Dan. That's awesome. Thank you very much. You guys don't understand. You know, I'm trying to move myself toward becoming, you know, the POTA escort. We won't say the other word on stream, but the POTA escort. I want to be out there doing POTA activations. I don't want to stop. This year I'm doing all the rest of Kentucky and Delaware. I don't want to stop there. Let's just do all the states. Let's just keep me going everywhere. I like the POTA, and you guys like it when I'm out there. So thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Oh, speaking of Dan, everybody, please copy. We have a guest. Please copy. We have a guest with dinner.
What are you eating tonight, Kyle?
It's a Chipotle bowl night at the house.
Has that got meatloaf in it?
No, not just any meatloaf.
Viking meatloaf.
Does it have Viking meatloaf?
I like meatloaf. Meatloaf is good.
Yeah, but you're not a real man, Kyle, until you've had some Viking meatloaf.
I don't know what Viking meatloaf would turn me into.
Define that.
The king has declared that as a rule.
Do I have to wear horns when I eat this?
No, but after you eat the Viking meatloaf, you earn your horns.
Oh my God, I don't know if I want that.
So listen, I'm going to tell you about this guy here. This guy aggravated me for like a month. You're running out of time to do your activation.
I got a bone to pick with you on that, but go ahead. Go ahead with your story.
And since December 31st, I have done CW every single day. Every day. Most of the time, multiple times a day. And this guy is yet to jump in my log.
So, all right. Let's tell the real story here.
Oh, here we go.
James went on stream and said, I'm going to wait till like 11:50 p.m. to activate. Okay? So, I went about my day like any other person, not waiting for James to activate. I look in the chat that he's got all of his CW buddies in, and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. CW activation's done. Already done.
Now, here's the thing. He says,
wait. You are at the Discord for the activation, right?
He says all my CW buddies. Now he is in that same chat.
He's a part of your CW buddies.
Yes, I know. But yeah, all right. If what you need to do, can I ask you if whenever you're going to activate, just ping that chat so I get a notification that you're in there and you're activating.
Every time I do a CW activation, that is where I spot myself. I do not spot on POTA because I'm not ready for that.
Right, but there's
at Kyle.
Yeah, well, you don't have to put at Kyle. You can put like at here or something, and then that will bring that chat to the front, and I can go, oh, you're activating, because there's other there's other conversations going on in that chat.
Okay.
So if he puts at here, will that just announce everybody that's in that channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. And then I know every time I get that damn chat, you've already activated.
Yeah, I did. Matter of fact,
you activated tonight.
Here's an advantage of being in my Discord. So I activated twice in between work and the stream, okay? One of those activations was CW and SSB only spotted on Discord in order for me to be able to get the second activation in. So just being in my Discord gets you top secret squirrel activations. So, you should probably be in my Discord if you're not.
Yeah.
But, I did activate 2 parks. Both of them I did CW first. And yet there's not very many people in that chat. But I have told you guys who watch the stream, if you want in there, hit me up and I'll put you in there. It just, I'm not ready. Listen, I've listened to some POTA CW pileups.
Yeah.
And my head just wants to explode.
Yeah. I mean, your 5,000 QSO goal is great. I think it's awesome. It's going to be, hopefully, what is it, 14 QSOs?
14 a day.
14 a day. Hopefully, like by March, April, May, you're putting 30, 40 in the log quickly. you know?
Right. Once I start actually spotting on POTA,
Yeah.
14 a day will be nothing. It'll be 30,
Right.
40, 30 or 40, and then I'll swap over to sideband and, get another 100,000 in a day.
Right. Right. Right.
Terry, thank you very much. You're welcome for 700 contacts. And Terry is in my CW log.
My comment was, you're like a hiker on the AT, where you need to do 14 a day. So some of these hikers, they'll do 10, like they need to do like they need to do 13 a day on the AT to finish the AT in like 90 days or something, or maybe 6 months, or whatever the 2046 miles is divided by 13. How many days? So they'll do 10 like, on Saturday because they're not feeling so well, but they'll come back, they're missing 3, they'll come back and they'll do 16 the next day, right? So as long as you average out, obviously, don't do math on stream, kids.
I don't got to do math. I've got it wrote down here. So yeah, it was on the second. On the second, I only did 10 CW contacts. So on the third, I did 19. So,
but your goal is to get at least 10 to activate that park on CW, right? I mean, are you going to leave the park without, with like 8 contacts on CW?
Kyle, I have never failed a POTA activation. Shame on you.
Well, I know that. I was reconfirming.
Well, here's the thing. Like in the mornings, like my early morning activation I do before work, I know I'm not going to get a lot of those guys that's in that chat because they're going to work already. So I'll still go on there and spot, and I'll get a couple of contacts. Then I switch over and do sideband, and get like 50 contacts, and then head to work.
Right. Right. So. Yeah, I hear you. Well, I think your goals are great. I mean, your 94,000 Qs or 97,000 Qs that you did last year, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I'll say this again and again. There's contesters who make thousands of QSOs every single weekend that don't even have the numbers that you put up. It's amazing.
It's rough. I can tell you. It'll wear you out.
Yeah.
But I love it, and it's what I do.
Well, you must be a glutton for punishment because you're doing it again this year.
Yeah.
Well, I am, as long as POTA's recognizing it this year. Somebody told me that POTA wasn't going to recognize it this year, and it's not that I do it for the recognition. It's just, well, let me rephrase it. I will still activate every day because I said I would, but I'm not going to be able to keep up with hunting every day if they're not recognizing it, telling me, hey, you did this, you did this. So the hunter one would probably drop off a little bit, but as of right now, I've hunted every day as well.
Well, if you get, tell me if this is true. If you get a park to park while you're activating, that's hunting also, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
But I'm actually hunting at least one station, not park to park.
Oh, no. So do you come home and do that, or do you do that from the park?
Typically, I'll hunt one from before I leave for my morning activation, and then when I come in the evening, I'll hunt a couple. Dan, we were on Chill Pad chat one night, and Dan watched me hunt, and he's like, "Dude, you used a radio in your house."
Andy says just do 25 a day, and then you can have a day or 2 off if needed.
That's not how that works. You mean for the CW? Yeah, I mean I could do that. I'm not going to say that. I won't. Like, hey, I'm going to go on a rove this weekend, and I'm going to knock out these right here. But that means I'm going to have to do 70 CW contacts today. I'll just do 70. Don't ask me how. I'd have to spot, but either that or the guys that's in that chat's going like, all right, guys, we're doing every band. Not that the Pearson boys wouldn't jump that. Listen, I'll tell you what. those boys are just absolute beasts. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what time or what unless they're already in bed for the night. But morning, whatever. If I say, "Hey," I posted in the chat, "Hey, I'm here. Anybody want me?" They're there. Like they're on it. And actually, their dad made his first ever CW contact with me today.
Nice.
So good stuff.
So I'm trying this. I just made it up a couple of days ago. It sounded good. So the reason why I talked about the AT stuff and the hiking, I don't even hike. I mean, I hike trails, but I don't like have any visions of section hiking or through hiking the AT. But I watch a bunch of YouTube videos that have, they vlog it. It's great. It's like, it's me hiking the Appalachian Trail with them, but I'm sitting on my couch and they're huffing and puffing away, right? Which is great. It's awesome. But that's that. I got this 12 by 12. That's 12 miles by noon. Was like this thing that this chick was doing. What was something Hayes, Becky Hayes, Stacy Hayes? I don't know. I was following her, and she was doing this 12 by 12 challenge. So I was just making a bunch of POTA contacts and noticed that I got my 10th POTA hunting, contact by 10 a.m. So I'm like, oh, maybe this could be a cool thing that I could put on Twitter and make a hashtag of it. So I'm trying to do the 10 by 10 challenge in the month of January and see how far I go. See if it sticks as a habit. There's going to be days that I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm going to have to go into work because I work from home. But I'm going to have to, I'll have a meeting that I'll have to go to. But yesterday, I barely got it. 9:59 a.m. I got my 10th contact. It was into PPI on CW out there in New York. So yeah, that's the mini goal that I've got the month of January. 10 by 10. 10,
Nice.
10 contacts by 10 a.m.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. That's it's kind of interesting.
So that's your goal for the year?
No, that's Hayden. That's the goal for January. Let's start small.
Okay. I like the way you think, Kyle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kyle's one of those people I was talking about earlier. They set these big goals, and by the end of January, they're like, that goal's stupid.
Yeah, yeah. I much rather hit goals that I know that I can hit, and then pat myself in the back, and then try another goal. But it's going to be tough the month of February because James and I are going to be down in Florida, different parts, but we're going to be at Hamcation. And I know that there's going to be a couple of... James is a lot more dedicated than I am. There's going to be many, many days that I'm going to get out of bed and not hunt any parks by 10 a.m. because I'm going to be at Hamcation or I'm going to be on the road or however that might work out. So
what Kyle doesn't know is while he's at Hamcation, I'm putting a shock collar around his neck and hooking it to my ham alerts. So Kyle will be up very early every day.
Oh wow, jeez. Is there a range on that shock collar?
Yeah. As long as you're out of the state of Florida, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have to do some POTAs in Florida whenever we're down there.
Absolutely. I've got some pretty big plans. One of them, which was already to activate with you down there. Kyle, I'm going to tell y'all a little secret about Kyle, and everybody who hunts me a lot will be surprised. Did you know that the number 2 activator in Kilo 1810, my home park, is Kyle?
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have more contacts than anybody else.
I have more contacts than the other James? Oh, because we went out that night.
Yeah, he only did the day shift with us. We did the second one that night.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And we had a good pile that night too.
I'm going to have to come back to West Virginia and get my kilo or something.
Yeah. That would definitely be.
West Virginia was so pretty whenever I rode through it. It was rivers and streams and hills, and it was so nice. You got a pretty state over there. You got a pretty mouth and a pretty state. It's funny, but yeah, goals. Goals are tough, but we're only 4 days into it, right? So hopefully, people are still going.
I've never had problems staying motivated, so I don't feel like I'll have an issue with it. But it's crazy because a lot of people do that. I used to hate when I was Mr. Big Fitness Buff all the time, and I hated the month of January. Hated it because you'd be in the gym and you'd have all these idiots in there that's like, "Oh, I'm going to do all this stuff this year," and then in February there's no membership renewal.
Oh no, James says that I'm not the activator in 1810. Number 2 activator. Oh, we need to.
No, I just looked it up.
Who is it? Who is it?
Randy Lewis is the second, number 2. You're number 3 now, Kyle.
The guy that did the CW the other day, did he get more than Kyle?
He's got 3 activations. Kyle has 2. And then for QSOs, Bobby Scott Jr. has 250 QSOs and Kyle has 215.
Well,
James is 4th with 93.
So that's changed in like the last week then.
Yep.
Because I looked at it like a week ago.
Guess who the top hunter is at 1810?
Just a random guess, I'd say Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta.
yeah, I was gonna say Toby.
Yep, absolutely.
It's got to be Toby.
So who's the top activator?
Well, gee, I wonder. With 14,285 QSOs, that would be you, sir.
I have more kilos at that park than most people have.
Now, James, now with your, 5,000 Qs on CW for the year is good, but are you going to try and get 1,000 CW contacts at your home park? Is that possible? Is that a goal?
I mean, if you say it's a goal, it can be a goal. We can...
Wait a minute, I'm not defining your goals. You're defining your goals.
I would have to keep up with that, man.
What do you mean you have to keep up with it?
POTA don't have to track that, do they?
Yeah, you can add. Can't you download the parks that you have activated and then sort on CW contacts and then add that up and add that column up? I don't know. I've never downloaded my contacts, so I don't know.
Listen, that if there's a way to do it, somebody tell me how, because that
James says you can. I don't excel on stream. That's one thing that I don't do.
Terry says Randy's the local guy. Okay, is that that's he just changed his call sign. His name's Randy, but he goes by Lee. Terry, is that, am I correct?
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Lima Hotel is his last.
I think I made contact with him over the weekend, too.
Yeah, Terry said Lee. Yep. Okay, I know who it is. He's recently came back. So my park's been invaded twice. I'm getting slack. I'm getting slack. I'm going to put some guards up.
Yeah, but it's going to be a while before any of them come near you.
Oh, nobody's coming near me ever. You don't have to put a bullet in me if they want that park. I could quit activating for 2 years, and that park would still be mine.
That is true. That's true. James says you go to my stats, activated parks. Oh, he just deleted it. Why'd you delete it?
No, I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Parks was.
Show the list of parks with the stats breakdown. Yeah, I thought that there was somewhere that you could do that. I was poking around.
All right, so what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do is.
Now I got the wheels rolling.
Man, the delay.
I know.
That's the wrong stat.
See, this is the problem with me because every time somebody comes on my stream, I add another goal, and then I get at the end of the year and I'm like, I'm not doing this stuff next year. I'm not doing this stuff next year. And then James says like, hey, let's do a goal stream, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I'm doing this stuff next year.
Do you have all of these written down somewhere on the goals? Like, do you have them like, pinned in a Discord or something?
I can.
Not yet.
I can do that. That's a good idea.
Pin them on a Discord, like put them in the chat and pin them.
So I can tell you in my monthly updates starting in January, you will see I'm gonna have charts of these goals on the final and how far I've made it and everything. I'm going chart crazy this year in my monthly stream. It's gonna be just you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, what is this guy, a mathematician? And I'm like, no, I use my toes.
I love a good PowerPoint presentation, especially when it's got a lot of graphs and pie charts. And
nobody said it was going to be a good PowerPoint presentation.
It doesn't matter if it's got stats and graphs. On that.
Yeah, we'll have to get the boys on that.
Yeah, they did. They did a real. They told me I did a really good job on because they watched it. My portable operations presentation for the Long Island CW Club. So they told me I did okay with that. So I actually have that in case I decide to do some more Hamfest this year. I figured I might throw them out there. So Bruce, I'm interested in this India Charlie Papa activation. Will there be other rock bands there, or just the Insane Clown Posse? If I knew where Bruce was going to be activating, I would be there tailgating and be like, jump around.
No, that's not Insane Clown Posse. That's House of Pain.
Oh, okay. That's
House of Pain.
It's close. They're both clowns.
Oh, whatever. All this time I thought that was all this time I was thinking that was Insane Clown Posse.
James gonna go to one of their concerts. Play Jump Around.
I'm like, man, they didn't even play the song I wanted to hear. See there, Bruce, if you would sing more to me when you hunt.
Dan says they covered it. Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Okay, there we go. See, I thought I heard them do that. And that's why Dan is the hand of the king.
Yeah.
Dan told me today, he's like, you need to take you some business cards to Hamcation because you'll run out of stickers. And I was like, that's a good. He's like, I could design you some and send you a proof tonight and blah blah blah. I was like, Dan, you're the hand of the king. Why have you not already presented this for approval? What is wrong with you?
That's funny.
I need to. Hayden, won't you see if you can find us on Thingiverse one of the little hand of the king pins? We'll have to make one for Dan, and I'll take it to Hamcation.
Got it.
We'll make him wear it. We'll make him wear it everywhere at Hamcation.
Who in the chat is going to Hamcation? Put a yes in the chat if you're going to Hamcation. Now that I've kind of gotten into POTA and kind of recognized some of these calls, and I work them over and over and over, I want to put faces to names, to handshakes, to
Dude, I'll tell you, that was my big thing about, especially at Dayton, because when I first went to Hamcation last year, my channel hadn't been out very long. Yeah, I had been doing POTA, so I still had people that were very interested in me and stuff like that. And, the first people that came up to me like, can we take a picture with you? And I'm like, is there a warrant out for my arrest? And you're trying to prove I'm here? What's going on? But when I went to Hamvention, my popularity had grew like crazy.
Yeah.
And people were, and I did a whole video for Hamvention. I called it the POTA something. But that's basically what it was. I was so happy to meet all these people that I've hunted. And so, well, as a matter of fact, Bruce made the trip down. This is how dedicated of a supporter Bruce is. Let me tell you. Bruce came down from Indiana and specifically bought a ticket, got in just to hand deliver me a card and meet me and leave. That's all he came for. And that made me feel like I was king of the world. Not just king of Poda. I was king of the world at that point. It did. I'm walking through, and people's yelling, James, and I have no idea who this is yelling at me, and it's like, it's quiet, no talking. And I about went schoolgirl when I met him.
Schoolgirl.
I'm serious. I'm like, oh my God, because this guy, I'm in a heated pile up, and Kyle's heard my pile ups in person.
Oh yeah, they're bad. They're bad.
They don't sound no better on my radio than they do when you're sitting there trying to get through them. I promise. There is no magic in my radio that says, okay, these 22 people are calling. This will be the order you will take them in.
Well, and what's funny is whenever you were working that pile up, and it was 20 seconds, 30 seconds deep, there was no call that not even like, you could literally say any letter in the alphabet, and then 15 other people would come back to you, right? But I think, what I was noticing is you work the same people over and over and over, and you know who you worked and who you haven't worked, and you would probably hear like an N at the end, and then you would call for WD4DAN, and he would come back to you, and you would be like, oh yeah, I didn't.
It's not even an N at the end; it's an N with a tone.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm so synced in on people's tone. Like, matter of fact, Whiskey 4 Zuva Hotel Alpha, he was somewhere way off frequency, and I couldn't understand nothing, just garble. And I was like, "That's Corey. I know that tone."
Yeah.
And I said, "Corey, you're off frequency," and he tunes over, and then he comes in 5.9. I mean, it's just their tones that really, really helps.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a couple of times where I was trying to call you, and I was just calling astronaut. That's all I was saying. Was one word, astronaut. But you didn't hear me.
I feel like I did hear you, but
really,
I didn't recognize your tone when you're saying that. I was like, I'm going crazy. I keep hearing some idiot yelling astronaut.
Yeah, I was yelling astronaut into the mic.
I really wish I was really good at CW, because when Kyle contacted me, I would like spell out like astronaut apostrophe 0.
That's funny.
Funny stuff. Yeah. Hopefully by the time Kyle works me, I'll be a little bit better, and I can mess with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Dan. Listen, I'll tell you what. Everybody says you don't never get no lids on CW, but I'll tell you, I got a contester lid this morning. Like, literally, I was sitting there calling and getting a few contacts, and then all of a sudden this guy comes blowing in, and he's sending like 50 words a minute or something. I'm like, is Dan messing with me? And then people start answering him back, and I'm like, okay, no, that's not. And then somebody's like, a contester took over you. I was like, yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, Wednesday is CW Ops Day. They have two CW Op contests on Wednesday. One at like noon Central, and the other one's like at 4 Central, 5 Central. I don't know.
This was like 8 o'clock this morning.
Maybe it is like 8 a.m. and noon or something. I don't know. I can't remember. Somebody in the chat will correct me. Those CW Ops, they go at 35 words a minute. They're too fast for me, so I don't participate.
You asked a question in chat, and I wasn't paying attention. Did anybody say yes, they were coming to Ham? Jason?
Yeah, we had Craig, HI8D. Richard said that he might be down there. Eddie's coming.
Sandy, are you coming? You're in Florida anyway. You got to come up and meet the king.
Robbie said
Craig's
maybe.
Planning. David's planning HI8B.
Sandy, Hamcations in Florida. Yes, Orlando.
Dan wants to do this.
So what I'm thinking is because can I embarrass you and run up to you like a little squirrel girl and jump into your arms while screaming, my king, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, if you want to, you donated $100 tonight, dude. I really don't care if you have a thong on and do it. I'm just gonna.
Wait a minute, he has to pay $100 and he's wearing a thong.
Well, Vince
No,
would pay money to see the whole thing. So
oh, Dan bought me a DX10. I really don't care what he does to me. uh, I'll make Eddie take him to the Lucky Spa. I mean, if that's what you want, buddy.
Oh, that's funny.
And if you guys don't know what the Lucky Spa is, that you're missing things out in my Discord that you can never unhear. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, funny stuff. So what I'm thinking about for down there this year, because last year the whole time I was there, I was like, I can't leave. I gotta work. This year, I think on Saturday, I'm gonna slip away for 2 or 3 hours and like just get a bunch of people and go do a POTA somewhere. Because last year, I'd activate like early morning before or late evening after. But this year I think I'm going to slip away about 1 or 2 if I can, because you get there and then they're like, hey, can you do this at this time? Can you do this at this time? And Kyle knows. Normally the content creators have a schedule laid out, but
yeah, it's these ham fests. You get to them, you get to talking to somebody else wants to talk to you. I mean, I don't even have a lot of subscribers, and I have people that come up and just like, oh, I like your video, or I want to ask you something, or whatever the case may be. People that have like Josh and Jason, they can't even like walk across the parking lot without getting mauled, And I kind of feel sorry for, people that literally get mauled at these hamfests because they can't get anything done like that. They want some quiet time, and I'm not saying that that's not, I love whenever people come up to me, but I guess the what I'm trying to say is if you come up and you're hanging around and you just keep hanging around, we might have to be like, hey, I gotta go, I gotta do something else, I'll catch you later and jet to something else.
It gets crazy. I'll tell you what. It's funny because I had went out to like maybe the flea market or maybe the RV area where the YouTubers try to hide out a little bit sometimes. But I came back into the main building and Good Game. He's like, hey, there's a couple of guys from Utah looking for you, and I was like, a couple of guys from Utah? What are they looking for me for? I don't know. They had an antenna question. I was like, this building is full of antenna people. I'm like, well, why do they want to talk to me about an antenna? He's like, they're POTA people. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So you sent them to see Tristan?
No, Tristan, I don't even think Tristan owned Eagle One then.
Oh, no, probably not.
So Lake Apopka, 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 Lake Apopka is probably the nearest POTA park, 8353 to Hamvention.
It seems like I've activated that before too.
You probably
good possibility.
I'm sure that there's a lot of parks in Florida. I was going to say there's probably a lot of parks that you have activated.
I think there's 415 in Florida.
Really? Wow, that's a lot.
I know. I'm going on an epic rove while I'm in Florida. I've been told. I was just told it was epic. That's all I know. I was told it's going to be epic, and it's going to make last year's look small. And last year's,
you're going with Bill again?
Yeah, I'm going with Bill again. And last year's was 18. I do know that. So it's going to be over 18 is all I can tell you. So good. Yeah, that was when Carrie, Kilo Bravo 3 Wave, sent Bill to try to assassinate me to take out the competition. so it came out in the middle of the day. Bill's like, yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you. Carrie told me to kill you. She said she wanted you laying on the ground begging for mercy. I was like, listen, you guys may rove more parks than me in a day, but hour for hour, I'm out. It's just further for me to get to the parks than you guys got. Hour for hour, I will run with any of y'all.
Instead of doing something bad like an assassination, they should just like Carrie or Tanya Harding.
Right.
Get a steel.
Break a kneecap?
Yeah, break a kneecap. Yeah. Break a kneecap.
I didn't say 18 was epic, James. I said we did 18 last year, and he said this year's going to be epic and kill last year.
Well, I think James's level of epic is a little different.
Well, I mean,
Especially after last year.
When you live in a place where every time a horse poops, it's a park. I mean, it's not hard to activate 7,000 parks a day. You know, I'm trying to get me one of those POTA pooping horses. You know, so
POTA pooping horses.
Here's a good goal for Dan. I believe you can do it, Dan. If I can do it, anybody can.
That's a good deal. Dan is going to test for extra. He's going to buy me an extra radio at Hamcation. That is so awesome, Dan.
It'll be the extra hand.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Dan hasn't already just like woke up one morning like, dude, I bought him a DX10. What is wrong with me?
That's funny.
Oh God, here. Listen, I am jealous. You know, I like I said, if I can get me a POTA pooping horse, West Virginia will be. We'll do a string down 119. Like, I'll bet. All right, next park in 35 seconds. They do got. Listen, I want to go to Canada because like I could like kill some unique parks up there.
You know, I was very surprised the first time that I saw somebody activate a park that had never been activated was on Thomas Witherspoon's stream. Whenever he went out, I can't remember where he went, somewhere in Quebec. And there's, parks in Canada that have never been activated. All time new one, right? An Atno. And so then Vince hit like a bunch of Atnos whenever he went roaming. And so now you got me obsessed here. Now I'm on the map here and I'm looking at Canada and I'm trying to, I'm seeing how many parks they've got popping up, and I'm just kind of randomly clicking on them to see how many are haven't been activated yet.
I can tell you that I'm going to do an Atno this year. And
really?
I know where it's at, and I can tell you that if anybody wants to beat me, put on your hiking shoes because it's going to be a good one. Yeah.
Well, you got to figure some of them parks in Canada, you probably got to spend a week on horseback just to get to them. Some of those Atnos,
you got to spend a week feeding the horse so the horse will make the park.
Oh my gosh! I'm looking. I scrolled over to just across the border in. Well, they're all over the place. My gosh!
It's crazy. I know. Hold on.
Hamilton.
There are
Hamilton, Canada.
600 Atnos in Ontario.
Jeez!
Holy crap! I think we need to go spend a week in Ontario.
I mean, I'm looking at a place that is right across the border from Detroit, and you come into London and Hamilton and Toronto. I mean, there's got to be 100 parks, all within I want to say a 1 hour drive of one another. Of a circle. I mean, look at this. The density is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. And here I'm sitting there pulling teeth trying to get my one new park that's already been approved. So
unbelievable. Yeah, some of these parks only have one activation. Some of them don't have any activations.
I know the PP man invaded Canada and did a couple of Atnos.
Wow, unbelievable. That's awesome, though. I mean, that really that would get your motivation going, right?
Oh yeah. James told me to come up there and we do some epic stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can't make it happen. I've got some pretty big plans. I just gotta see how a couple of things pan out. But so you can activate. Okay. I think I've only got like 2 activations in Georgia, but one of those is still to this day one of my favorite activations of all time, and it's Jekyll Island because it was like probably one of the prettiest activations I ever did because I was sitting on pretty much on the ocean while the sun set, and it was my first ever late shift because I was like, I'm ready for a late shift. I wasn't ready. Oh my! That's when I thought like 140 some calls in an hour was something.
140 is that's up there.
Not in an hour.
I mean that's a constant clip. I mean the theoretical limit I think on single sideband is something like 300 and something. That's some contester calculated that out. You can do like 348 QSOs an hour. That's the theoretical limit.
Can I get 350 people to prove this wrong?
Yeah, James, you need to like learn how to do SO2R in a park. That's what you need to do. Do single operator 2 radio.
Oh, okay.
Single operator 2 radio, and you got CQ running on this one, and then you answer that one, and then while you're answering that one, you're running CQ, dueling CQs. You're running SO2R is maybe like or not maybe, but it's running on this one and search and pouncing on the other one. But you need to do dueling CQs.
That would be impossible with my pileups.
It can be done though. It can be done.
I would rather do digital on one and single sideband on the other.
That would be easy.
James, there's your 2024 goal.
Wait a minute. What if I get good enough on CW that I'm doing CW on one and sideband on the other?
Well, that's whenever you get to that point, you let me know.
It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
Unless I got somebody there that's decoding the CW for me and is telling me what to send, and I'm talking to this guy sending it. Yeah. You ever watched a video of the guy that's like reading the newspaper and sending CW like it's nothing?
Yeah. I'm
like,
actually, if you want to see a guy do dueling CQs on CW, Nancy 6 MJ, Mike, I can't remember what his last name is, but anyway, he does M6 MJ is a beast, and he does SO2R dueling CQs, and it's unbelievable.
I could probably do it because the pileups on 20 are not as bad as they are on 40. So I mean, I could possibly do it if I could just remember which one I'm hearing the QSO from.
Yeah, Dan Craig is his name. And there's one from CQ Worldwide, dueling CQs, where he was operating in ZF2MJ, and it is unbelievable. Like, it'll make your eyes go cross.
See, this is why I don't like people like you coming on, Kyle.
I'm just raising the bar. I'm raising the bar. I'm making you a better operator there.
Kyle's gonna watch a video in like 6 months from now. He's like, "Dude, you are just stupid."
Oh, that's funny.
He's like, "I made all that stuff up, dude. It wasn't real."
Yeah. Actually, what you need to do is everyone needs to go and Google 2-band single inner SB. 2BSIQ, 2-band single interweaving QSOs. That's what it is.
But you know what? You know what's going to happen if I did this? my head's going to explode because I'm gonna have two mics and I'm going to be calling CQ, and all of a sudden, out of both radios at the same time, I'm going to hear Alpha Delta 2, Charlie Delta.
She's going to have both her radios going. And,
Actually, the link
calling-
for that video I just put in the chat. So if anybody wants to check it out.
Oh, yeah, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out because
Riding the edge of human capabilities.
Yes.
like I could spot one on POTA and one in Discord, and maybe pull it off.
Yeah, you could probably do that. Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. So, if I'm at one of these parks that it's not a twofer, and I've got a radio and the antenna, James, you got to answer this: a radio and the antenna in this park, and a radio and the antenna in this park, and I sat right on the line where I'm half and half, and
No.
I run dual.
Nope.
No.
You have to be in the whole park. All of you has to be in the
All
park.
of me has to be in the park.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where
Dang
they
it.
get you.
Dang it, man!
The
So I
wheels
can't
are
even-
turning.
I can't even get half an activation. What's it?
Half. I got 14,322.5 contacts.
The king of the north has spoken.
He's not the king of the north. He is the
I
protector
know.
of the north.
I know. I'm ribbing you with it.
He is self-proclaiming to be a king, and he's going to get his head chopped off if he don't quit. Just because you activated 70 piles of poop in one day does not make you king. That makes you a gardener.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, funny
That's
stuff.
funny.
Anyway, well, look at man. This stream has flew by.
Oh yeah.
I did not realize the time. It's like my week. Come and get me. Like I'm not afraid of Canada. I'm just afraid of getting across the border without the passport.
I thought
Carlos can get me there. I just don't know how I'd get back.
Carlos. Carlos can get you there.
It'd be a secret invasion. Hey, I wonder. You know, what I could do is I could get one of those gliding parachutes, and Carlos could glide me over a Canada park, and I could activate it in the air, and then we could glide back into U.S. airspace and land.
Oh, there you go.
I could do an illegal alien POTA activation. All right, so we're going to wrap this up because everybody knows I'm going over to the after chat, which will take up the rest of my life because these guys won't let me go ever unless I go to a park. And that's probably not going to happen because lately the bands have sucked this time of night. But anyway, Kyle, what you got coming up on your channel?
So I got quite a bit coming up in the next 3 or 4 days. So you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. So Friday afternoon, late afternoon, I think I'm going to do a flash stream. I'm not going to tell anybody. I got ARRL Ready Roundup is this weekend. So that is the precursor, not the sprint, but the practice session. So I think I'm going to stream that. And then on Saturday, I've got Ready Roundup. And I'm going to start like maybe 3 o'clock Central and stream a whole bunch of that. And then something that everyone might be interested in that Vince is going to help me with, that's in the chat, VE6LK, is we're going to try and do on a semi-regular basis, don't know if it's every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatnot, we're going to see how the first one goes. We're going to do a new CW Ops Roundtable where we're going to get a bunch of new CW Ops, and James, you will be included in that in future episodes to give your input. But we're kind of just going to do a roundtable, and we're going to have some mentors on there that have been doing CW for a long time, so they can give us direction. And we're just going to talk about what it is to be a new CW operator. The first episode, we're going to talk about why did we decide to pick it up, and kind of maybe the tools that we use, and then every time that we meet, we're going to talk about like how to get over Mike, CW fright, how to work a pile up, how to what are some tools that you use to learn CW, what are some tips and tricks that you did to get over S's and H's and fives and H's, or whatever the crux that you had. So we're just going to talk about the things that new CW operators want to talk about. So
awesome. So I got a question for you right off the bat.
Sure.
When do you stop banging your head off of the trees in the park from doing CW?
Well, that might be from another issue, but we could throw that in the mix if you want to put that question in the chat. That's funny.
Oh, funny stuff. All right, Hayden, you got anything coming up? You're going to activate again?
I'm going to activate again Saturday, and it's going to rain all Sunday, so it's just going to be one this weekend.
What does rain have to do with an activation?
Hayden,
It's going to be cold and rainy.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, Hayden, I saw you spotted on 15 meters, and I tuned up, and I couldn't hear you. Did you go to any other bands whenever you were activating?
I was on. That was Monday. I was on 15 and 18.
Okay.
But I think for me and you, it would probably be 40 or 12.
I saw you on my. I put you in my ham alert, and I saw you, and I went up to 15. I couldn't hear you, so I didn't. Ham alert didn't.
15 was long. I was hitting all over the place.
Yeah. Yep.
So for those of you who are on my Discord and know that I'm monetized and can't say it here, my response to Hayden about cold and rainy is my same response as to PP Man about needing to sleep. So everybody knows what that means. Anyway, me, I'm going on a rove tomorrow. I haven't even made up my mind where. I'm probably going to do that in the after chat tonight. And I might go out to Kentucky and work some of those new Kentucky parks for me. So we'll just see. I got a free day now. It's hard telling what I'll do. Other than that, thank you everybody for the donations. I will appreciate you when I'm riding on a train, going to make contacts for you. I'll tell you what, people's already freaking out. Do you have your activating schedule worked out? Yes, I do. Friday night, I will activate for Saturday. I will get on the train. Oh, Saturday night, I will activate for Sunday. I'll get on the train Sunday morning. I'll go to D.C. and activate in D.C. and activate again the next day, and then get on the train again, and I'll activate when I get off the train. I got this. This is not my first baby Sprott rodeo. All right, guys, I'm heading to Patreon after chat. Thank you very much for hanging out. 73, everybody.
73, everyone.
73.